going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. Today, my guest is grandmother, comedian, and teacher, Heather Fudge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And Fudge's real last name.
It's my real name.
So you're
name. It's not a joke. It's not a
Mrs.
joke.
Fudge?
Yeah, Mrs. Fudge. Yeah. Well, I mean, in school, I'm Madame Fudge.
Oh, you teach French.
Yeah, Madame Fudge. Yeah,
wow.
Madame Fudge. Yeah.
Wow. You might be, ashamed to know that I am French, but don't speak any French.
I know, because your last name is French,
mm-hmm.
right? I was actually going to ask you about that, but you don't speak any French?
No, unfortunately.
Did you not go to school in Ontario?
Yeah, I did. The system failed me.
It's rough. It's rough. I can make jokes about that because nobody ever learned any French because you're too busy torturing your French teacher.
Honestly, you want to know some things that I did? And this is real. And what grade do you teach?
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Okay, so I don't know if they're there yet. They probably are still good human beings. But in high school, at least 1 year, it was mandatory, I think. Back when I did high school. Yeah, grade 9.
Yeah.
And I would stick little sheet notes. So we had the desks that have the one side with the bar attached to the desk, the seat and the desk, one piece. Mm-hmm. And I would tape little cheat notes on the back of the seats in between the bars that held up the back part of the seat. Right in front of me. And that's how because I
cheated for French?
Oh, so much.
I mean, that makes me feel good. I'm impressed because most kids did not give a shit about French. And then to know you actually cared enough to cheat.
Yeah, I did. And I did decent.
But why didn't you keep going with the French? It's
I kind of regret it now, but back then
that's what people tell me. People tell me always, they tell me they regretted not paying. That's what I tell my kids at the beginning of the year. I'm like, you don't know how many people have told me they regretted not knowing French.
I had a hard time in school, and in high school, I grew up in foster homes and stuff like that, and I moved out when I was 16. It was my birthday's in January, and the September of going into whatever grade before I turned 17. What would that be? I don't know. Maybe grade 11? I think I was going into grade 11. I moved out on my own, and I had a lot of stuff going. Like I said before we started, I was literally an alcoholic at 15 years old, and that was a couple years of my life, very young, and I just had other things going on that, especially in high school. Middle school, I think, was the last few good years of school for me until college. But high school took me 5 years, and I failed gym, I got 8% in civics just because I just didn't go. I lived in these are times when I lived on my own, and first periods always were the ones that, ate shit because they were first and it was hard to get up.
I don't think they should have first period for high school kids. It should start at 10ish. Do you know what I mean? It's just too hard for kids to get their act in gear.
Have you always taught those grades, 4, 5, 6?
I've always taught I did French immersion for a while, and I taught grade 2 and I taught grade 3, and then I finally went because I taught those grades at a richer school in Hamilton.
Okay.
And because there's richer schools.
Yeah, there's good pockets
areas.
of Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Hamilton's got some decent areas.
But then I was it's a really big job, French immersion. And then I was I'm gonna go to the Northeast End. There's so many inner city schools in Hamilton because it's a lot. There's a lot of economically depressed areas.
Yeah.
And so I went to a more economically depressed neighborhood or whatever, and I taught. I started teaching core French. I taught 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. That's terrible.
Hard, terrible in what way?
Oh my gosh, they're really terrible to you.
That's I guess starting to go through puberty,
and
developing a lot of...
Yeah, the worst grades is 7.
Yeah.
Grade 8, they start to turn around a little bit, but 7 is a nightmare. They're monsters. They're just terrible, just horrible people. It's just... And then I got... then I somehow lucked into grade 4, 5, 6. That's a nice sweet spot. Yeah. By the time grade 6 comes, they're starting to get 7-ish, but... 4, 5, 6 is the best, but 7, 8, like I've gotten some really good jokes from 7 and 8.
Okay.
I don't teach them anymore, but I keep the jokes.
Yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
thanks, kids.
No kidding, right? That's how it is. You got it.
But yeah, they say or they do anything. Even my own kids never ever got in trouble, but grade 7 they got in trouble. Like they only ever got in trouble in grade 7.
Okay. And they grew up in Hamilton as well?
Yeah.
All right. How long have you lived in Hamilton?
I lived there like 24 ish. Yeah, 24ish years.
Okay.
I lived in Toronto for a bit.
Gotcha.
Like Etobicoke.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's Etobicoke and not Etobicoke.
Yeah, there was actually
Never
a
found that
documentary. So there was a documentary on Netflix about Luca Magnotta.
Yeah.
And because a lot of he was around Etobicoke.
Uh-huh.
Or Etobicoke, see how I'm saying it. So, and in the documentary, one of the guys pronounced it Etobicoke. That's how he says it, and it sticks in my mind.
I know, right? I don't know. I never ever bothered to ask anybody why you don't pronounce that last K. But I mean, I teach French, and so you don't pronounce a lot of those. So I tell the kids in the first week, I'm like, don't ever pronounce that last letter on those words because you don't ever, like most of the time, you don't pronounce the last letter on French words.
Are you French?
No, but I did a lot of, like, I went to school and I don't know, I was a crazy little weird kid and I really loved French. Like, I loved, like, Sesame Street remember Sesame Street in Canada was, like, French. There was a little bit of French in Sesame Street. And I don't know, I just loved French and then I went to France for, like, 1 year and then got myself some French boyfriends and I just learned French.
So when you decided to be a teacher, it was always, I'm going to be a French teacher?
I don't know. Like, I did...
Because, like, being a teacher sorry to interrupt, but it seems like such a hard and demanding job. And from what I hear,
it's pretty rough.
Don't get paid, as much as you deserve. And and then you're doing French. That seems like it's like...
I know.
Twinfold,
That's why I switched from, like, the French immersion to, like, the core French, because French immersion, like, those report cards take you, like, 40 hours to do outside of your regular job. But core French is a little bit better because you don't have to comment on all, like, if you have your own little class, the report cards is a giant job. But if you have core French, it's just like you get to teach 6, 7 classes of French. They come in, they leave, they come in, they leave, they come in. And if they're terrible, you're like, 17 more minutes. Johnny's on his way. But if you have your own class, like you have them all day. And that's a lot. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I really prefer, like, teaching the little sketch kids in the Northeast End to the more affluent kids. I just find it works better with my personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more rewarding, maybe?
Yeah, it's a little, it gives you a better sense of, like, what your role might be in the community. At a more affluent school, you're like, I don't know, you just feel like
another gear.
Yeah, you don't have as much freedom.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, thank God for the summers, though.
That's got to be a good part of it, eh?
You couldn't do the job all year. It's too much. It's too much of a job. It's too much of a big job.
So what do you guys really do during PA days? Let's be honest.
Oh my God, it's the most terrible thing. I don't even know if I'm at liberty to fully express myself. PA, like, it's like they there are initiatives that school boards. I do a lot of union work too.
Okay.
So I probably, like, I have an even more extreme view about, how school boards operate because I do, I am active in the union and whatever. But, like, there are initiatives that the school board comes up with, right? And then they dole out sort of, like, programs on these PA days. And it's progressive sort of initiatives, and it is designed to make you better aware of these things. But the problem is, like, I teach in the Northeast End, we we are already kind, concerned, loving, mostly progressive people, and we are already embedding this, and so we sit there during PA days and we text each other. Like you don't need to tell the teachers in Northeast End how to be nicer and more inclusive to children.
It's a preaching to the choir kind of deal, right?
Your job all day long is to try to meet them where they're at, and you're doing it in every way possible. And you don't really need to sit there. What we need to do during PA days is probably to talk about the children themselves, right? But what do we know? We just followed the directions.
Okay, so I got a question then to follow up with that. Talking about rewarding, the job being rewarding. What would you say is? I don't want to word this in a way that would never get you in trouble. Okay, just your favorite really part about being a teacher and your least favorite part about being a teacher.
Oh, okay. I love being in front of the children, teaching them, the French in a fun, sort of engaging way. I mean, I love it when, they're I get them grade 4, and then when I get them in grade 5, they speak it just like me. And I actually have a pretty good accent. I have pretty good French. I did a lot of years of French in university, and I love that they are learning another language, and it helps them to get out into the community. And we all like to teach our subjects and stuff, but a lot of them will tell you, a lot of French teachers will tell you that is their least favorite subject, French, at other schools or whatever. But I feel that is not true at my school. I feel they have a lot of fun, and they don't dread coming there. It's really hard to teach French because it's hard, and kids get self-conscious, right? But I feel like they come, it's a nice, comfortable place for them to be, and they think I'm funny.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and I have a lot of freedom, and I'm really good at coming up with fun things. And that is I do have a lot of fun with them. And, they give me a lot of jokes.
No, that's good though.
They do give me a lot, probably the first 5 minutes of my act now is the dumb kids jokes.
Oh yeah. Aaliyah's 3 and, already I have just whole new sets just based on the experiences.
Wait, you already have
her.
You have a 3-year-old?
No, 3 months. 3 months. What did I just say? 3?
Yeah.
Shoot, we're still going by months. We're still going by months. So
I knew you had a little baby, but yeah.
But I promise after 12 we'll stop, or 11, I guess, because then 1 year. But those people that have a 3-year-old and there's 36 months.
Yeah,
it's they're 3, just relax.
They're probably still breastfed at that point too. If they're still going by months.
I don't even know if that's what are the pros and cons to still. I wonder, is there an age that is appropriate
to stop
breastfeeding? Yeah.
When they come to you and they say, "Mommy,
yeah,
haul it out, Mommy."
They're eating pizza and they can say
pizza.
Yeah.
They got the pizza in one hand and they got the boob in the other. Yeah, that's the time. I don't know. I breastfed one till it was 12 months.
Okay.
And but one time, I got to about 9 months with him, and then am I supposed to talk about this on a platform? I don't know. He bit me.
Yeah.
Consistently for a week. And drew blood a number of times. Uh-huh. And then...
Ow.
But I was going for 12 months, because I think that's the World Health Organization says 12.
Gotcha.
And so he bit me and drew blood, and I said to the husband, finally, go get some formula, because I can't fucking take it anymore. And then I was at my wit... And you know what they tell you? They say when the baby bites you, you take the baby, sit the baby on the floor.
That's the advice.
I don't know, but this is 20 years ago, right?
Staring at your baby sitting on the floor. Like,
but you know what he would do? He would just sit there and laugh at me maniacally.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not funny.
This is not gonna work.
I don't know if this is working.
Nice try, Mom.
they can sit up. They say,
teething seems like a good time
I know,
to stop
right? But
breastfeeding.
they get teeth like in 4 or 5 months.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, they're gonna get teeth soon. She's gonna get teeth soon. So that didn't work, but so he miraculously, so I told the husband, go out and get me some formula. I can't take it anymore. And he stopped. And then I continued for another 3 months. But then by the time he was 12 months, I was like, because I was like, and then I think they came up with another guideline 4 years later when I had the second one. And then the new guideline was 2 years. I'm like,
yeah, right.
I'm kind of a rule follower, you know. I follow rules, and then I'm like, fuck the rules, you know. And so when I had another baby, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make it 2 years. I'm going to try to make it 2 years.
Okay.
So I got to 20 months with her.
Wow.
She never bit me either. She was a pretty good baby. Then she became a terrible teenager, but but
I'm scared.
I know it's the whole child rearing thing is just it's a black hole. That's why I'm a totally different, well, not totally different, but I'm a way different person I was than I was when I was home trapped raising children, right? But so I tried to go 20 months with, I tried to go 2 years, but I only made it to 20 months because we renovated our basement and I had to start drinking copiously.
Okay.
Well,
we're done.
Just to get through life.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's it. 20 months. I was 20 months with her.
Briefly, I did, over the pandemic, I did some work as a renovator, I guess. I did a lot of demo and fucking building things. Mm-hmm. And what were you just talking about? I lost my train of thought.
I'm renovating my basement.
Okay, yeah. And I always thought... you said so much funny stuff that I want to remember everything so I can...
And we did it.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
and just a crazy
with a
20-month-old.
And I was spackling. Because I think my father...
And what was the age difference between...
Oh, he was
babies?
she was 20 months and he was 4-ish.
Okay.
And so she's walking around like a little zombie, putting her hands in the whatever you call the spackle, that white stuff.
Yeah.
And then he was, I don't know, the older boy was I don't even know what he was doing, because when you have a toddler, it's it's like following around a little wild bear, right? Just biting everything, eating everything, still putting stuff in their mouth and falling down fucking stairs. Falling down the stairs is the worst.
But why is it such a common thing for people that are because I was gonna go and say when I did it for the brief period that I did it for, everyone that was doing it was either about to have a baby, or they just had a baby. I was dang, this seems like the worst time to do this. But I also don't have a lot of money. And it's let's get the house nice, so the baby can grow up in this nice environment, that kind of deal.
I guess we had a super small little house.
Yeah. I
think we just wanted them a place for them to go down and
Gotcha.
play, because all that we had was a little living room, you know what I mean? That was the only place for them. So we thought we could have a sort of an open space and put a real floor. It was a concrete floor or whatever. 1940-ish little tiny bungalow in Hamilton, and we thought we could just make a little recreation area.
Gotcha.
Right? So we just decided that we would just try to do it in the summer, because I wasn't a teacher then. I actually was doing something different, but my husband's a teacher, so you have to get everything done in the summer. So we didn't have any money either, so we had to do it ourselves. But yeah. My father was supposed to spackle the walls and stuff, and then we had people, I'm from Newfoundland, and we had some family members come from Newfoundland, and they stayed with them, and so he couldn't do any work for us, so I had to do the spackling, and sanding, and
so how does it look?
It looks pretty good, but my husband's a hoarder, so now it's all full of crap.
Okay.
because we don't have any children like living with us anymore. So we don't have to we don't have to keep it like open and empty.
What do you do with their rooms when they move out? Like, what do you do? That's gotta seem like, man, everyone talks about, the hardest time. All the time, parents. Oh, wait for this age or whatever, blah blah blah. But like, to me, I feel like the hardest part is gonna be when they like don't need me anymore. I like that they need me right now. Anyway.
Yeah,
like I'm still new at this
time.
But I like that they need me.
She doesn't even move anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to bring all the stuff that, she needs to her. Yeah. You take her, you put her in different places in the house. You're just constantly just meeting her needs, and she's always smiling and cooing. She doesn't even tell you, like, to F off, right?
Yeah, she's just kind of starting to laugh. Like, she's getting there, we do
Oh my God, that is the best time. 3 to 9 months is the best. And then you just might as well just, I don't know, give them away. No.
Downhill from there.
No, you know what? Like, I think everything up to about 12 or 13 is good.
Yeah. You're so, like, this, yeah, okay. And then what is, like what's, when they come back? When do they come back around?
I don't know.
I'm scared of that time. I don't want her to hate me. I don't want... I know it's going to happen. It's terrifying, though.
It is terrifying.
It's like, did you know that I created you? Like, how could you hate me?
It's so cool.
I made you.
That's why I started comedy, though.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is why I started comedy. Because, like, I had... Okay, so my son was about... the girl was about 15, and he was about 19. And she was really starting to get awful. And he wasn't awful. Like, he wasn't going out and, getting drunk and whatever. He just didn't do anything. He didn't leave his room or, that kind of thing and whatever. But I was so distraught because I didn't know how to manage everything. And then I would go to the staff room and I would tell these terrible stories about my teenagers. And people would be like, that's a terrible story, but somehow you made it sound funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, right? And then I would I like a run a lot. I'd go running in the woods, and I would be working these things out in my head. And I remember running in the woods thinking, you know what? I'm basically like telling myself a story in the woods and trying to make it funnier. I wonder if there's like open mics here in Hamilton.
Yeah. And
then I just I went to Levity. It had just become Levity, I guess, before it was Yuck Yucks or something like this, and it just opened up like a year. Anyway, then they so I just went there one night and I tried to meet people or whatever. They were like who is this crazy person? And then I learned about like some open mics, and I went to an open mic and I saw some like Hamilton people, and I was like, first of all, I saw some that were just like, they basically just talked about eating ass and shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, I can't do that. And then 1 or 2 women went up, and I was like, I can do that. I could probably do that. And then I did that comedy class, and then we shut down, and I just kept going out and doing it. But I did it. I started it because I just needed an outlet to like tell my stories and make them funnier.
And you have so many that it's gotta share some of them with the world.
But in the beginning, though, they were just sad. They were
like, how many teachers? I know like one other person that has just got into teaching, and I think they're just like a TA right now.
Yeah,
but
they probably have terrible stories.
Yeah.
Who?
Dana? Do you know Dana? I don't.
Is she?
I want to say her last name is Disney. They're Dana Topping. Dana Topping. Yeah, I think her last name is Topping.
Are they in Toronto?
Yeah. She just got married.
Oh, I don't know all the Toronto people.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. There's probably not a lot of teacher comedians, I imagine. You think?
I know a couple in Toronto. And there's what's his name? Johnny D. You know, blonde guy. I think his name is Johnny D. Yeah. And there's Fiona O'Brien opens for him sometimes.
And Mo something. There's I can't remember his last name right now. But he has a mustache.
I've met him.
Habibi.
Yeah, Habibi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met him a couple times. Yeah, I think he's a supply.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe yeah.
But that's got to give you enough stories, just that on its own.
Yeah.
And being a supply teacher is like a special kind of teacher, because like.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't get as much respect as the regular teachers. No, would you say?
No.
Is it like a known thing where like the full-time teachers like when it happens, but it's like it's just kind of nothing.
Sometimes I think, I don't know. Do I do a good job at this school? Am I a good teacher? Because it was really hard in the beginning managing the behavior, but now I'm like, this is not so hard anymore. I don't know, like you just get to know tricks and stuff, and they get used to you and they trust you and whatever. And that's just, so it's not. I don't find it that hard because there's always one or two in every class that is just bonkers, right? But I do it pretty well, and then I will get a supply. Come in and cover me, and the kids will be crazy, and I'll get all kinds of bad notes, and they'll be spilling out into the hallways, and then somebody's telling somebody to F off, and a couple desks get like knocked over.
But in French, so you can't be completely mad.
But then
right?
I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty good at my job. People just don't appreciate me. Like, that does not happen when I'm like in class. But yeah, no, and then nobody wants to, like, the supplies don't choose to come to your school. So it's hard to find a supply when you're away as a French teacher in the Northeast End. Yeah. So
you said you met I guess you didn't meet your husband doing teaching. You met him because you weren't a teacher and he was a teacher?
I met him, he was a supply teacher in Toronto. And I was in Montreal doing some like grad work. I did like a master's in French, and I met him he was coming to see an Expo game, even though the Expos were on strike, but he had the plan to come anyway. And I met him in a bar.
Okay.
On the university campus.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then he was living in Toronto and I was living in Montreal, and we just hooked up one night, and then I never thought anything of it. And then he calls me, and I was like, "Who's this dude calling me from Toronto? What am I going to do with a Toronto dude?"
God damn it!
What am I going to do in Toronto? That's no good to me.
He's why you moved to Toronto.
And then I did the master's, and I was planning to do like a PhD. And I didn't know where to do it, so and I knew I needed to do it in an Anglophone area so I could teach French. Mm-hmm. Just get some little cheap jobs teaching French at the university, because you can be a TA, and that's how you can help yourself through grad school, right? But I knew if I stayed in Montreal, nobody's going to hire a little Anglophone from Newfoundland to help teach French, right? So I was looking for an Anglophone area to study this, language in, and also teach it a little bit. So I was like, maybe I'll just go to Toronto. And that's what happened. I just went and I just did it at Toronto.
All right.
So that's the end of that story, and the beginning. And the rest is history. And then I had this PhD, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I taught French classes at university for probably like 5 years after I finished the whole PhD, which I did while I was raising a little baby. And then there's not really very many jobs out there. So I knew they were really, really looking for French teachers, so I just did an education degree, and I just did that. Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
So yeah, I knew I had like a marketable skill, and I would get hired, and so I did. And I play the guitar, so that's really good when you teach school.
You incorporate that?
Yeah,
sometimes?
You can just gather around kids.
Yeah.
And now I play the Then I learned the ukulele, because if you're going from class to class, you can't be carrying around a big old guitar. But you can put your ukulele in your cart and pull it out, right?
Yeah.
And force the ukulele songs upon them for like 7 minutes at a time.
Do you ever try yes, they give you some material sometimes, but do you ever try out any jokes on them sometimes?
Yeah, you know what? It's more of a it's more of a a presentation thing. You know how you'd be doing a set or something, and you use the pregnant pauses. So if you sometimes they'll be acting up, and you go, hey, and you freeze, right? And you pretend like you're a statue. and they don't know what to do. Like, I do a lot of weird little things like that. Like, where I'm like a weirdo, and they don't know what to make of it because their other teachers are very like prim and proper. So I'll incorporate a lot of like weird sort of things where I try to capture their attention, and it's more of a like a, you know, and a lot of gross motor movements and stuff like that. So it's more of a like how am I going to present my, or like the funniest thing is like when they're misbehaving, right? And you got to shut it down, and you got to give them a little you're misbehaving speech, and you don't know what you're going to say. So you just make it up as you go along. I wish I could record some of those. Because some teachers are like, you guys are so sucky, I can't believe it. But my misbehavior speeches are like, probably I could turn those into like 5-minute sets.
I'd love to. Problem is, you never know when they're going to happen.
I just never know when, like...
Can't record it. Kids, hold on 1 second. I have something to say, but... Are you even allowed to bring your phone in the classroom, or is there like some rules about that shit for like teachers?
No, we can use they I mean, it's frowned upon, but we can use our phone. Sometimes you can, you know, you have to message other teachers. You'd be like, did something happen to Johnny on the way to school this morning? Because he's just awful today. That's good information for you to know if something happened to Johnny, right?
Yeah.
Or Susie or whatever. They, grade 4, 5, 6, I don't have to deal with them with their phones that much. But 7 and 8 is terrible. Like, but now the government has started this. Ford brought something in 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like, you know, you're not allowed to use your phone, but there was no clout behind it. Now I guess, and the kids were still allowed to use the phone for like, because we have like games, like online games that they can play and stuff on their phone, like educational things, and you know, we were
back in my day it was like Math Circus. We were allowed, but now apparently we're not allowed. They're coming up in September. Nobody's allowed to use their phone. I don't know what the teachers, but interesting.
But I need my phone sometimes because like I'm during like lunch and stuff, I get messages from comics and producers and stuff like that. I can't just not look at my phone all day.
Yeah.
But I try not to look at it when I'm teaching. But sometimes you do get messages like from other teachers and stuff like that. And at our school too, like we have like you have to like lock the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
Because kids are like, you know, going crazy in the hallway, and you have to keep the kids inside safe. And so it's very helpful to have some tool to use to talk to the teachers. Like, you know, when can I let the kids out to go to the bathroom?
There'll probably be some growing pains in the new school year.
Yeah, so now phones. Apparently we're not allowed. I don't know how that's going to work out, because like it's really hard to get a phone from a grade 8 if they don't want to give it to you.
Man, I feel so weird. It's like obviously a topic that we're discussing, me and my lady, but like it's like, when is an appropriate age to get a phone for a kid? I know. It's so hard in my mind. Yeah. I'm like high school. But then it's like it's such a huge part of life now. I didn't have to
deal with, like, my son never had one until because I was not going to pay for one, right? He didn't have one until like he was 17 or 18. But I had to give one to my daughter. Also a girl, you just sort of worry, like, have these weird
it's different
fears about like them walking home. I remember that age between 12 and 16 or so, where you're like you're worried about like creepos out there, right? Irrational. I don't really know, but then by the time they're 16, they're like, you can't keep me down. And you're like, oh my God, all those years you've been like 12 to 16, you're so worried about them walking home from school, and then you're like, I don't know where she is right now.
Yeah.
Like she's 20. She went out I dropped her off at a party the other night, and I said, so you're gonna find your way home? And it was like 20-minute car ride away from our house. So I was like, I just hope nobody's gonna be driving you home like drunk. She goes, you don't understand, Mom. Kids don't do that now, because if you get caught, it's a severe penalty, right? I don't really know if I believe her, but I chose to believe her. What choice do I have, right? She's 20. So, drop her off. And I woke up. It's 4 a.m. She is not home. Mm. But she's 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But still, right?
But still, like, you know, so I was like, are you alive? She goes, oh, yeah. And I still haven't talked to her about it. That was like 2 days ago. I was like, oh, well, just as long as you came home alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but you think, when you were 14, I never would have thought I could ever have gotten to that point. But you have to give up. You have to just let it go at a certain point. And that's why comedy is good, because I have other things to think about now. I don't know what ladies that don't do comedy think. It's true, right? Because I am always thinking, I'm always writing jokes, thinking of jokes, think about different shows to get on, making my own shows. This is a little outlet for me, right? And my mind has somewhere else to go. And I'm not consumed with what are they doing. Because I don't care. Just go fly free, little birdies.
just message me.
I know. I was like, where? Like, I was like 4. Then I remember when I was 20, I lived in France with a Turkish dude for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you message your parents?
No, because there was like, I probably phoned them once every 2 weeks. You know, like, I mean, I went to Turkey Mom. With him.
It's interesting, you know? But, even like something as simple as, for me, watching The Simpsons, where it's like, don't get me wrong, even as a kid, I always thought Homer was the funniest, but now I find myself like relating to the... And I'm so new, but I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. You know? And I'm just like, I'm on the parent side now.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It is a special...
Being a parent, what it does to you, you know?
It's a special club because, like, you're still at the stage where, like, you have no negative feelings about her.
No.
None.
No.
Zero. And
I enjoy cleaning the shitty diapers.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like...
I'm there.
Everything, you know, and you like, I remember how, like, you know, you'd go out for a bit and you come back and go, oh my God, the baby, I have a baby. It's the best thing in the world. You forget about it and they go, I have a little surprise at home, a sweet, beautiful little surprise, this baby, I love it. And then, and that goes on for years and years and years, even when they're 7 or 8, because you come home when they're 7 and 8 and they're like, Mommy, and they run to the door, right? I mean, I'm not going to tell you the stuff my 15-year-old told me. I'm not going to tell you the things that she's called me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could never imagine when they're 7 and 8, like just when they're 15, 16, the things they're going to say. It's very heartbreaking. I actually went into a dark hole. When I started comedy, I was very attracted by all the attention and everything like that. And, I went through a difficult transition time. Because I was kind of depressed about how it all turned out with them. Now I think they're finding their way. They're finding the way, but it's very difficult to go from like looking after and making sure that this creature is happy and productive and safe, and then letting go. Like that's very hard. But yeah, you still like. It's the best time. 3 months.
Yeah, it's strange. There's like some sort of, and I'm not gonna quote it exactly because I don't know it word for word, but there was you ever watch Modern Family?
Yeah.
Where
like
Ed O'Neill's character, he's doing like a speech, and he's basically just saying, you know, when you have a kid and they grow up, like you miss them being certain age and them being like little, and as they get through different stages, they lose the things that they had before or whatever. And it's like,
I can't look
you
at the
miss
pictures.
those things, but you don't have time to miss them because, you know, in replace is this other thing that's doing all these other amazing things. You know, and then eventually you're going to miss those things, but you get to a point when they leave where, you know, then there isn't something to replace that.
Yeah, except comedy.
Yeah. So, it's good that you found comedy, though.
I know, right? But yeah, it's like, I always used to think, even when they're younger, I was like, you know, it'd be great if you could travel back and forth in time. Because I wouldn't mind having a little 3-month-old in my living room for a couple hours a day, once in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be great. You know what I mean? toddler. A toddler is so loving, dangerous as shit. But they're so loving, and when they're starting to talk and stuff like that. But, you know, and then 7 and 8 is nice too. But I would like to go back and forth because now I'm completely free. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm basically free.
Do your kids think you're funny?
No, I don't think so. My daughter laughs at me in spite of herself. You know what I mean? Like somebody's like forcing her not to laugh, and then she sometimes can't express it or whatever. My son said to me the other day, he's like, I did something, and he's like, "Oh my God, sometimes I forget how weird you are." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm not weird." Like, you're just trying to do your best.
Yeah, you're weird too, buddy.
You're super freaking weird. Okay, you don't even understand how weird you are. But yeah, you could go back and forth, like, and like, you know, 'cause it's really great not having to worry about, like, you know, all that, like, babysitting. But I can't watch the videos or look at the pictures. It's just sad.
You have a lot?
Yeah, but I don't have anything on my phone, like from, you know, like if I had a baby.
Oh yeah, when like smartphones were a thing, yeah.
My whole phone would be all clogged up with like pictures of the baby. You know what I mean? I just got show pictures. And
me and my lady have like a shared folder. It's it's so much. It
would be too much. I have like those VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to do with those.
No VCR?
We do have a VCR, but I'm not watching that. I would just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too. I was thinking of trying to figure out a way to convert it, but I don't really give a shit. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Sit around and watch that all the time? Like
maybe one time, maybe one day.
When I'm like 80, like why? So I would be sad, like.
Yeah.
I don't know why we take so many. Like when we were kids, like I have a few pictures of myself, but like. What's the whole world going to do with all these pictures of these babies and children? You know what I mean? Like,
I hear you. It's a lot. It's come a long way from like, you know, showing a couple of photos that were in your wallet.
Yeah. I think I got mine were like 10-ish when I got like a cell phone. You know what I mean? Like around like, well, maybe 8 and 12 or something like that. And there's enough little videos and pictures of them as it is, but they were 10 and like 12. But if they had been babies, I would have been filming them the whole. I think. What did I use? I mean, we just took like videos of them like with the camcorder.
Yeah, you had that. Not everyone could do that, you know.
Yeah, it was.
The thing that sucks about living in like foster homes is like I don't have any. Like, there's very few photos I have from, you know, my childhood, which sucks, but.
But then you don't have to, like, you don't have anything to, like, give her, like, when, like, my parents have all these albums, right? And they recently downsized to a condo, and they're like, here, take it. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff? I already got, like, albums of my kids' pictures. Now I got albums of my pictures. Who's going to want that? My kids are not going to want that when I die.
Just got to lay it on thick, like, you don't love me anymore? Like...
Like you're just photos. Like, at least you don't have all that stuff to give her. Look on the bright side.
Yeah. She'll be thankful. We just got I just got like our first, well, you can see we don't have like a lot of like family photos around, and for our anniversary I got I took this photo when we were out of my lady and my daughter, and put it in black and white, framed it nice, and then I got like this big collage one, so we're looking to fill it. And I like the idea of like the photo albums and stuff, and I do post quite a few photos of Aaliyah online, you know, just because like she's such a big part of my life now. I've seen those.
Yeah, I've seen them. I like them.
There's so many I don't post. There's so many, but then sometimes I'm just like,
yeah.
I just everything about her.
I know. They're so. It's like it's a drug. It's magic. You know what I mean? Like it's just your heart is so like full and warm.
But her thinking that I'm funny is very important to me. Like I don't know how I'm gonna. Right now, at least it is.
Yeah.
You know? I'm gonna need her to think I'm funny. You can think I'm not cool or whatever else, but you need to laugh at my jokes.
But she will get to a point though where she's like, "You are the most stupid person on the face of the earth." I'm not.
I'm gonna milk that. I'm gonna enjoy that too.
I'm not laughing at anything.
It's like anytime she thinks, well, this is like an ignorant kind of mind as well. But like in my mind, anytime she was like, "Oh, Dad, don't do that," like I'm just gonna double down, and do things or like I don't know, play some funny music, picking her up from school, just do little things that are kind of like annoying,
I
but she'll appreciate when she's like 20, maybe. Hopefully.
I love that you have a strategy.
Believe me, like the strategy this far has already crumbled. So like, these could just be words by the time she's old enough to.
I mean, it probably is. It's a really good thing to to project wanting to enjoy yourself all the way through. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, I know it came a point where it was just like coming at me in waves and I was not enjoying myself at all.
What's going on?
And I couldn't figure my way out of it. Like it was, but they all sort of grow up and they have to make their way through life and everything. I have like a little like granddaughter now. Like she's like 5, so that's kind of fun too. I mean, but not the same as your own children. Like because they are with you all the time. You can't get away from them. No matter how much you try.
Yeah, they're committed. Definitely committed. But I can't imagine like people that tell me they don't want to have kids. I'm like crazy. It's crazy to me.
Although you know what? Though I am like, I have friends.
That you're jealous of?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, I know what it's telling.
It's like, damn you, Frank! You have so much freedom.
I will say to them, I'll text them. I'm like, you're so lucky. Because they'll still, will say things, or things will hit you from, like, the side, you know what I mean? Unexpected. Like, there's beings out there, and they're just freaking doing shit, and you gotta deal with it, even though you can't solve their problems, and you can't, you're not gonna, you can't make everything better, and they have to learn and forge their own way or whatever. But goddamn, you still gotta do stuff. I can't just ignore them for the rest of my life. I still gotta make supper sometimes for them. Yeah. It's basically all I do now. Is sometimes they both drive, but the driving is terrible too. You're like, oh my god, can you imagine letting your little baby drive? I mean, not now, of course. She's a little baby.
Yeah, when she's old enough.
But the driving, you're like, oh my god. Mine drives back and forth from Guelph. She goes to Guelph and she drives back and forth with like this old beat up car we got, and then my son has a girlfriend in not Guelph. Where is it? It's somewhere around Guelph, Kitchener,
Georgetown, Acton. I don't know.
Somewhere it's somewhere near Guelph.
Okay.
And London, maybe. No, it's somewhere near London. Did I mention I'm not from Ontario?
It's all right.
And I just started driving.
How dare you?
And so he drives back and forth to get his girlfriend, and I'm like, I just have to close my mind to it. Because driving's scary.
Yeah.
But
do you want to get into top 5 now? Maybe.
Top 5. Okay, let's do top 5.
What do you want to start with? Let's start with comedians. Is that good? Good place to start.
I feel like my top comedians are like gonna be boring because they're all women.
That's fine.
They're all really popular.
Mine are all men, and I love a lot of female comedians, but I don't know. I think it's just what you relate to.
Yeah. Like they say, I know they say like women aren't funny, right? But it's like that's just such a boring.
I know so many funny women,
and there's so many, and the women that have made it in comedy are super fucking rich. They're really rich. Like Chelsea Handler's really rich. Sarah Silverman's got to be pretty rich.
Whitney Cummings,
I love that I think Chelsea Handler and Whitney Cummings are, and I remember watching like Chelsea when she was she had just maybe 20 years ago. She used to have a little talk show, you know what I mean? Like, and Whitney Cummings was on it, and Joe Coy, he would be on it, and
yeah.
I remember, I forget her name now. She was at Levity. She's like a larger lady, and she's like a lesbian.
Deborah Giovanni?
No.
I don't know if she's a lesbian.
But yeah, when Chelsea Handler was just starting out, and now these people all have Netflix specials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love Whitney Cummings because I love how she like walks around and just gets down on the stage and stuff like that, because I just like to do that stuff too.
No, she's great.
Whitney, yeah, and so so they say, like, women, and I just don't understand, like, where, like, club owners don't put more women up, because I look out in the audience and I see women in the audience, and all of my favorite comedians are women, so I don't really know why there's not more. They don't put them up, because, like, these women are really big, and I mean, literally all my favorite, now I'm a comic, but all my favorite comics are women.
Literally anytime someone says that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, and I just put on fucking whoever, like, I know, like, feminist comedians, like non-feminist comedians that talk, like, about, like, dirty stuff, and just all over the place. Yeah. So it's like, I will find a female comedian. Like, I don't know a lot of those people, but there's a guy I work with who always says that, and I'll be like, I always constantly will put on, like, Taylor Tomlinson or Adriana Appalucci or just whoever it is, just trying to prove the case. Like, man, you haven't heard enough, Like, when I was younger, I had that, like, with, like, I felt like hip-hop a lot of the time, where it's like, I heard maybe one or two songs that I liked, but I was just like, none of this is, like, for me. Like, I don't think... Like, I didn't like hip-hop. I didn't give it a chance. I think it's just, like, ignorance. Once you actually get in there, you can find something for you. You just... You need a reason to dive in, I guess.
Maybe men don't find women jokes relatable.
Yeah, but still on the surface, the writing and stuff you can appreciate. Even if you don't have a period, you can appreciate... You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't... I don't think it matters.
I went to see Sarah Silverman live, and at least half of those people were men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, she's great too.
Yeah. Whitney Cummings, I was so sad when Joan Rivers died. I'm like, oh my God, that woman probably had another 20 years left in her. And that she was super freaking funny.
That was a hard one for you, Joan Rivers?
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I wasn't even a comic at that time, I don't think. But I just couldn't. And people were, like, texting me. I think they knew that I liked her, and they were like, did you hear? Joan Rivers died. Did you hear? Joan Rivers died.
I've got a couple of those before.
Oh my God. So sad. Who else do I like? I watch Saturday Night Live, so, I love Wanda Sykes too.
Yeah.
I like a lot of those Saturday Night Live ladies, like Tina Fey,
love her,
and Amy Poehler,
love her
Kate
too.
McKinnon. Oh my God, she's fucking hilarious.
Maya Rudolph, you like Maya Rudolph?
I
really like Maya.
Do you really like her?
I do. I like all the girls you mentioned, or the ladies you mentioned, but, like, Maya Rudolph was, like, one of my favorites from SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's for sure top 5. If I was doing female comedians,
really,
she would be in one of. Yeah.
I like her.
Amy Poehler is great, though. I just don't think Maya Rudolph's gotten the amount of screen time as the other two.
Maybe.
Amy Poehler is easily, I would say,
she's doing
probably the most
pretty
popular.
well, though.
Oh, she is, for sure. Yeah, they all are.
Yeah. Also, let's see, Gilda Radner. I just like Gilda Radner. She's early, like, Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
And she died. Gene Wilder. She was married to him.
Okay.
She was super silly. Rosanna Danarana. Like, she used to, like, that was her big. She had big, like, triangle hair, and she was really silly.
Maybe if I saw her,
Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
I like the silly ladies.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I sort of probably...
Do you watch Mrs. Maisel?
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's so strange. They used to... People said that, and I started watching it, like, a couple years ago, but it was on Crave, I think, and we had to watch it on an iPad. This is like it's like marriage crap.
Okay.
Because we didn't have Crave on our television. Now I know how to manage my television. Now I know how to manage my viewing options better.
They made it easier though. TVs have come a long way.
Yeah, I know, but I had to get a Fire Stick because they took the Netflix off my television like 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I got a Fire Stick, and then my son helped me figure it out. And now, so I got my 3 remotes all lined up.
Okay. I love it. Keep going.
And then the husband helped me a little bit more because he's from New Brunswick, and we've got this little cottage shack in New Brunswick that he likes to be at, and I'm like, fine. But before he left, he sort of taught me how to use it. I got my 3 little remotes all lined up, and I know how to work them all now. But 2 or 3 years ago when that show came out, we didn't have Crave on the television, and so we had to watch it on an iPad. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand how this works. And so we started watching it together, like in bed, but then he decided he didn't like it. And I never watched television. I just always sit on my couch and watch television. I'm not like, if I'm in bed, I'm sleeping or having sex. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm not like big on like, I don't know why. I'm very, I don't know. I move around a lot. So I didn't watch it because he didn't like it. Right? And I didn't know how, and I was like, I just didn't.
I don't have time to watch shows on my own here.
I know,
yeah.
I totally watch shows on my own, so if I'm watching something, I'm usually watching with him. But this summer, he spent a lot of time in New Brunswick, and I know how to work. And I got the Fire Stick, and the Fire Stick gives me different things like Prime. Yeah. I can watch it on my television, which I could probably watch it on my phone before, but I'm not watching that on my phone. I'm doing like my social media on my phone. Anyway, so I just started watching it again. Mm-hmm. I have mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I watched a few episodes of the first season, and I stopped. My lady watched it all. She's like, you gotta, essentially. She's like, you gotta start watching it again. And every time, like, I'll catch her watching it. Like, there's definitely, I really like Alex Borstein, who's in the show. I think she's her manager.
Oh, yes, I love her.
I really love her. So, like, all the scenes with her, I'm, like, always watching and stuff. Oh my God. She's like, you gotta start it over again. And so maybe at some point I'll try to get into it.
It's pretty, you know what, I think a lot of people have said to me, like, you gotta watch this show, and I said, yeah, I started watching it, but then the husband didn't like it, so I dropped it, and then I started watching it again, because now I got my 3 remotes, and I know how it works, right, and I'm probably on, like, season 4 or something now, so I've been watching it, and I don't know what I think about it from a comedy perspective. I don't really think her jokes are that. I don't really understand. Like, I'm not sure if I think that she's funny in her comedy. But I think I would say I started watching it for the comedy. But now I'm just watching it for the clothing.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's like, I love those, like, did you ever see Mad Men?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the visuals in that.
If you look at the top right there.
Oh my God, the visuals! Yeah. That is like, it's so transfixing. Just the scenery and the buildings and the clothing.
Yeah, my lady that's like one of her favorite shows.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I watched it, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, and I did like it more than I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I wanted to watch Mad Men again. I started watching it again until. This is not a spoiler or anything, but until the mom gets cancer, and then I couldn't watch it anymore because it's too sad. Even though she's not a very sympathetic character.
Yeah, right.
But I still felt very bad. She didn't know it was going to kill her. The cigarettes.
And the one guy hung himself in his office.
Oh my God, yes.
That was rough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But it's a decent show.
Oh, yeah,
better than I thought it would be.
I really did, and like I said, I tried to watch it again because I like all the visual, visuals of the clothing and the objects and stuff, on the desks and everything. Like if you watch it, but it had some pretty heavy themes.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like, and super misogyny.
Oh yeah, it's like it's
it's like you had to put up with it, right?
It's so weird. But who is what's her name?
And the people were so beautiful.
She's in Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yes.
What's her name?
What's her name? Kate? Is her name Kate? No, Megan or something?
I don't know. But in that show, she really has like a good story arc. Peggy, yes.
Yeah.
Peggy Olsen.
I forget her.
I can't remember her real name, though, but yeah.
But she's done pretty well, like, for herself as an actress, yeah. No, I think I just watched that for the clothing. But then, so that's the same with Miss Maisel. You know what I don't understand, like, the Miss Maisel thing? I can't, and you were talking about the parenting and everything, like, the thing about, like, Miss Maisel, like, how can she do comedy with, like, a 3-month-old? Do you know what I mean? Like, she's got, like, so she gets divorced. Because I couldn't have conceived of it while I still had, like, I was still raising children. Because, like, you got to be, like, you're always thinking, you're always revising, you're always getting yourself on shows and making shows and stuff like this. But you're always writing jokes, and you're always running out of the house at 7:30. You can't run out of the house at 7:30 as a mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I know, like, a lot of the lady comics, especially the ones I know in Niagara and Hamilton, don't have children. Right? You're running out of the house at the worst time. You're running out of the house at bedtime. It's really hard to get out of the house at bedtime. But she's got like, I don't know, 4-year-olds and like a 9-month-old. And here she's off running around doing comedy in 1960.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's looking at, is your mother looking, so your mother's looking after your children. This is not a feminist statement here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just don't know how I think about, I don't know. It's sort of unrealistic. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I don't know. It's like, so I keep, I can't get past some of those details in Miss Maisel. And also, I don't know how she lives this lavish lifestyle. Because her dad is just a professor. They have all kinds of clothes. It's a beautiful apartment. They have a summer house in the Catskills. And I just don't, the math doesn't add up.
All right.
But I do love the clothing.
All right.
Yeah. But, I don't know, maybe you can talk to your lady about that and ask her what she thinks about that, because there's some details that I can't.
Okay. It's interesting. I've never thought of it like that before.
You know what I mean? I shouldn't. I should just suspend, disbelief. I should just.
Sometimes it's hard, though.
I know, right? I'm like, how y'all got so much money? And who's looking after your babies right now? That kind of thing. So.
Are you done then? Was that all of them?
The
comedians?
The comedians, I think so.
All right.
I really do like Amy Schumer. But then some people have said things about her, like she never ever wrote her own jokes, and her parents were rich or something, and then how
I don't know about that.
There's some kind of sketch details about like how she got started in comedy, but then sometimes people are not kind to women.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is what. Okay, so I was saying how people would say, we were talking about people saying women aren't funny, and how I would approach and be like, oh, check this out. So this happened to me. I had that conversation, and I was at work
about Amy Schumer.
About just female comedians,
okay.
And I was like disagreeing with them, and I was like, all right, check this out. And I put Amy Schumer on, and the person that I was showing it to, he was like, yo, Amy Schumer like stole like a lot of these jokes, and then like put some other thing on that was like Amy Schumer doing stuff that like another comedian, I don't even know who it was, but like basically Amy Schumer and then the other person, Amy Schumer and the other person for like 15 minutes they showed me this,
and it was a proof.
Yeah, but like from what like a lot of the thing is like, you get to a certain level and people write your jokes, and that she wasn't aware. Was she aware that the stuff was stolen? Because there are like
Oh, you mean she was using jokes that people gave her, but those jokes were stolen?
Well, that's what it, I think that's what her story is. Because, I mean, the jokes, you can see that other comedians have done them, and she's done them after, and that's, like, it's a thing you can see. And her thing was, like, I think her stance was just, like, she got jokes written for her, and she wasn't aware they were stolen.
It'd be really nice to get jokes written for you. That'd be great.
Oh, it would, but I feel like it would be also, like, it would be hard for me to do, to like perform them, I feel.
I suppose, yeah.
I
Don't
understand.
people give you tags sometimes? Like,
Yeah, definitely. There's
Yeah.
a difference. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like workshopping or chatting with other comedians and then being
Yeah.
like, oh, blah blah blah, and saying something funny, and you're like, oh.
although sometimes people give you tags and you're like, I can't sell that. I can't do it. I don't know how to say it. It's not. For
Yeah,
me.
so only certain people can say certain things for sure.
Yeah. And you gotta learn how to like say it yourself.
Yeah, in your own words.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't say kerfuffle. Like, I can't
Yeah.
I can't put that
I
in a
could
sentence.
say kerfuffle.
Yeah. All right, do you want to do superheroes?
Superheroes, but you know what? Like, my superheroes are really boring too.
All right. I'm
Like,
interested.
I love Wonder Woman as an
Okay.
image,
Yeah.
as a symbol. I love the outfit. You probably haven't been on social media with me long enough to know I love to dress up in all kinds of things.
You dressed up as Wonder Woman before?
That was my Halloween costume last
okay.
year.
Okay.
I think, so I think I was only Wonder Woman once, but I finally got all the parts of the costume, so I'm really happy about that. I ran a race as Wonder Woman too once.
You ran a race?
Yeah, like
That's
I had,
dope.
like, it was last, I think it was last, it was the Halloween race. And so I had, like, I had, like, the Wonder Woman, I had a Wonder Woman t-shirt, and, yeah. And
Right.
I ran my race.
I went bungee jumping and I had a Superman, like,
Oh,
shirt
yeah?
and cape on. So.
Oh, that would be fun. I would never bungee jump.
No.
No, that's too scary for me.
I'm scared of heights, but it was just something that...
Did
I'd
you
like
only
to
do
go-
it once?
I've only done it once, but
Would
I'd
you
like
do
to
it
go
again?
skydiving. Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Oh, that's so, like, I
It was
just think...
it's a crazy... And the guy's like, hey, you want to, like... Because it's, like, above some water. I don't know, a river or
Yeah.
something.
So even
And,
if it breaks, you
he's like,
wouldn't
hey,
die.
hey, do you want to touch the water on your way down? And I was like, fuck no, buddy.
You don't want. I,
No,
'cause if I was gonna
not
do
at
it,
all.
and then they say like, you want to touch the water. I would say, might as well.
Yeah.
Might
If
as
I'm
well.
jumping off a bridge, might as well touch the water.
Might as well
I get
get a
that.
refreshing
But I was like,
splash
no,
at the
I
end.
don't want to hit anything. I just want to be a safe distance
Oh,
from the
okay.
ground. And he was like, all right. And then the worst part was them like lowering me after, because you're just like lingering in the air, and they don't bring you up. They lower you down. A little raft will come and
Oh
like
my
collect
gosh!
you.
Yeah, because how could they get you back up?
Yeah, I don't know. That would be even more terrifying though.
They're
Just
pulling
pulling-
you. They're
yeah.
pulling you up, like winding you back
I
up.
don't know if this is safe.
I don't know. I like socially risky situations. Like, I'm okay with, like, risking it, like, socially, like, speaking in front of, like, a big group of people, and I love meeting new people. I am a big talker, but I don't like I don't like roller coaster kind of, like, physical, risky situations.
Okay.
But I roller skate, and I bike, and and I read my phone when I bike, and sometimes I take selfies when I roller skate. So, I mean, I'm physically risky to a point, but not when it comes to precipitous drops.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. And I don't think I would do the skydiving. I think
there's a place in Hamilton I was looking at. Might do that.
skydiving?
Yeah.
Like
Probably
from a
won't happen this
plane?
year. Yeah.
In Hamilton?
Yeah. I think so.
Nah, I don't think. Or like, the CN Tower when you like walk around, like,
Yeah.
would you ever do that?
That seems like it would be harder. Like jumping out of a plane. It's like the hard part would be jumping out of the plane. Then it's just falling.
Yeah, because then you can't do anything about it.
But like the whole time I'd be up on the building would be like
I
an
know.
hour long about to jump out of the plane feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? And I don't know if I would be able to deal with that. Like I've
Yeah.
thought of it and I flirted with the idea. I've even had like a friend that I was like, hey, we should go do that, record it, and you can come back.
Yeah.
We could do an episode and talk about it. And like that was over the pandemic, and I haven't brought it up since because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it.
It's probably expensive too.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Yeah, just to like shit your pants. Like it's a little.
No,
I can shit my pants at home, guys.
Problem. One time
Yeah.
I went on a water slide, and I was thinking of Brunswick, and it was a really steep water slide, and and it's basically like a vertical drop. And then by the time I got down to the bottom, my bathing suit was up like this.
Oh yeah.
And And I was like, I basically paid, whatever, I think it was part of the water park. You just had to like, but I was like, I almost shit my pants going down. And what's the point? Like, just shit my pants for like a half a second. And then that's what the thrill is. Like, shit your pants. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I also hate horror movies.
You hate horror movies?
I can't watch, I could never watch them in the theater.
What is it?
Because I would scream.
Oh.
I scream and people look at me. and you know how like in a horror movie, like in the first probably 5 minutes or whatever, there's like fake scary parts where like something falls off a shelf or something.
Yeah.
And that's just a decoy. I scream at that.
Okay.
I am screaming in the first 1 minute when they're just sort of getting you ready to scream. I'm already screaming. So nobody could take me to a horror movie. And I probably can't I would never watch one in my house either. I just don't, like, life is scary enough. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, do it on purpose to myself.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, none of my favorite movies are horror movies. I think I saw one when I was, like, a kid, too. I saw Carrie. You know Carrie?
Yeah.
Where the hand comes up to the grave, and I was like 10 or something, and I was not ready for that kind of like emotional manipulation. I was like I can't believe somebody made this up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To frighten the shit out of me.
I always think that, like, I'm not with that, like, that way with horror movies, but like I always think that way about like rape scenes. Like, someone just filmed this.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are in there, or like there's like 50 people standing around.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah.
So superheroes.
So I just love, but I have never seen the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh no, eh? First one was good.
Because I don't know what platform it's on.
Gotcha.
Because I just started figuring out that remote situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found the Charlize Theron movies last night because I was like, weird, because I thought one of them was on Netflix and it wasn't on Netflix. Then I realized it was on Prime, and then so I'm like really good now at getting back and forth between all those channels. But I probably could watch Wonder Woman now.
Yeah.
Because I really do like Gal Gadot.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think she could have made a nice Snow White in that other movie.
Oh yeah, that would have been a better choice. Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But I would like to watch the Wonder Woman. I think it was on Crave, and I didn't have access to Crave, so I think I might.
Yeah, get around to it.
I think most of my heroes are like feminist types. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I used to draw. I used to draw portraits, and I drew Virginia Woolf. And I drew Simone de Beauvoir, because when I was like 22-ish, those were my big like heroes.
Okay.
Yeah, like feminist literature types. Then I forgot about them for 20 years. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I think it's just like trailblazing women.
Gotcha.
That have done like good things for the world. Usually they're childless.
Or they can be. What about Greta? She was a child.
Oh yeah, Greta like Thunberg?
Yeah.
Thunberg?
I don't know how to say her last name. That's why I didn't.
Bob.
I just avoided it.
I know. I don't know either. Right? Is it Thurn or Thun or something? Yeah, I don't know. You know what is really crazy though? The cruel attacks on her.
It's wild.
Why?
Just like
she's just
a kid. Well, not anymore, but back then they were attacking her when she was like, what, like 16, 15?
She's only 20 now,
like,
isn't
you guys
she?
are
I think she's the same age as my daughter.
Yeah, no, but I felt the same way.
I was just like, she's just a kid, and she has autism, which is why she has very, I mean, maybe Kristen Stewart has autism.
But if there was a biopic, maybe they'll get Kristen Stewart.
But I think that like she's just trying to do good things for the world.
I know.
Like what? Who cares? Like, you know what? And if you want to use a plastic straw, go use a plastic straw. Leave her alone. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to internalize her message, but she really strikes a chord for some people. It's so sad. I mean, she's just. I mean, I didn't pick her. She's
That's
just
okay.
She's just a kid.
Yeah.
right? I feel like my heroes have to be like just a little more lived. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
some experience.
Just
there's wisdom that comes, with the amount of years that you've been alive. I think for the most part.
And some I mean, you could say she's an accomplished young woman. You've probably got books out there now. I don't know, but I like it when they've already produced something. You know, like Gloria Steinem wrote books, and Simone de Beauvoir wrote books, or that kind of thing, or whatever, or like comics, make Netflix specials.
Well, maybe she's on her way to being on your list.
Yeah,
eventually.
maybe. Yeah. But she doesn't really have a repertoire of like a product yet.
I haven't heard much from her lately.
I know, right?
And I get maybe when you're in the spotlight like that as a child, you might want to not be in it as you grow older and understand the world a little more.
I mean, she's in a lot of memes still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really understand why. I also think it's also misogynistic, to attack her.
A lot of it,
as a young girl, right?
For sure.
And a lot of it has to do with how she looks. Right? Because I don't know if you've considered
what kind of
raising a girl child, but raising a girl child and raising a boy child is like a boy child is like, just go and put on your jeans and go to school there, Buster. But a girl child, you just don't really know what to tell them a lot, you know what I mean, of the time, in terms of how they should present themselves as a female person in the world. It's just a quagmire. Right? But it's different than a boy child.
Oh, I imagine it is.
Things you have to look forward to.
I want to have a boy eventually. Do you want to do Charlize Theron movie? Did I say her last name? I feel like I'm butchering her last name. We should have picked more regular.
All these people that are...
Yeah. Whatever their name is.
I realized, you know what, I saw Atomic Blonde. Did you see that movie?
I haven't seen that. I've done a list for these things.
But I saw that movie about 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my god.
It's good, eh?
I could be a lesbian.
Made me feel some things.
I mean, I love J-Lo, and I love Charlize Theron.
I mean,
J-Lo, I would say, even I don't know, my daughter would be 12 or 13, and she'd go shopping with me, and I'd say, would J-Lo wear this if she was an elementary school teacher? And she'd be like, Mom, you're not J-Lo, okay? And I'm like, I could be. Yeah. I could be J-Lo.
What do you say?
I had a trainer, and a dietitian, and a
it all comes down to money, really.
And I mean...
Difference between me and J-Lo is a few million. Yeah, let's be honest.
Exactly, right? I'm like the Anglo-Saxon. I could be the Anglo-Saxon J-Lo.
Stranger things have happened.
We're the same age, right? That's my touchstone, though. I look at J-Lo, and I think, I can sort of be on her level looks-wise, because you don't have to act or look your age. Whatever people think that should be. And I think of J-Lo, and I think, I always ask myself, what would J-Lo do?
All right.
Yeah, I do. I have a little bit of a girl crush on
So J-Lo. Do you want to do J-Lo songs, or do you want to do Charlize Theron movies? What do you want to do? I made lists for both.
Okay. Maybe you choose. I don't we already talked about Charlize and that movie, The Huntsman.
Mm-hmm.
And
let's do that first.
We already agreed that if Charlize is the evil, beautiful queen, and Snow White challenges her beauty, Snow White has to be astoundingly beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Charlize does get old and a little bit more ugly, but Kristen still never matched her.
It's not enough.
Why?
Is that on your list?
The Huntsman?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just recently watched it, and I just noticed.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
I might check it out now, though.
Yeah, and you'll feel the same as me, I am sure. You'll get to a certain point in the movie, and you go, okay, this is too much, Kristen, now. Kristen running through the forest. Kristen jumping into the water. Kristen emoting with no emotion on her face.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then there's a sequel to that one too. It's like The Winter's Tale or something.
Same people?
Yes, Kristen is in it, I think. Yeah, because it's sort of like 7 years on or something. But Charlize is dead then, I think. I forget, because I watched that one. It was like a little bit later in the night. I might have had a little bit of drink, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I just, Charlize is like, she's, I don't know. Well, she's very, very beautiful. And she also has a very impressive story. Like, I think her mom killed her dad because her...
Wait, what?
Yeah, her dad shot her dad because her dad was, like, physically abusing her mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So imagine, like, and then you just imagine growing up in the wake of that.
Hopefully Kristen Stewart doesn't play her in that biopic, you know?
know,
I'd like to see that.
I
I just
would not
watched
be
I,
watching that.
Tonya recently for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Have you seen that? It's so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I noticed that it was on one of the channels that I was flipping through. I saw, like, you know, because it has, did you watch the Barbie movie?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm gonna watch it when it comes out. Because
her
me and
name
my
again?
lady would see movies together, and now we can't. So she went to see Barbie with her sister at one point, and I saw Oppenheimer like on a Tuesday by myself. So that's kind of what we're doing now. Margot Robbie.
Robbie. I don't know why I forgot her name. But I actually would like to, maybe I would like to see that, because I heard she was very good in that. She's very good in that.
Very good, and the story is actually, like, I don't know how much you know about the Tonya Harding thing.
I mean,
but, like,
I
thought I
happening.
knew some stuff, and it's not exactly what I knew.
Oh.
Like, she's not a horrible person. Like, it was, you should watch it, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Because I do like to skate. Like, I do like to ice skate, and I like to roller skate and stuff. So the skating I would watch. I don't think she actually even knew how to skate before she did that movie.
No, she had to learn. Like, she
that's
spent
crazy.
like months. Yeah.
And that's what I liked about the Barbie movie too. There's like a lot of roller skating in it.
All right. I am gonna check it out though at some point.
Yeah.
Comes out.
Which, the Barbie movie?
Yeah.
No, I'd probably go to it again. I don't know. I haven't really ever seen. I don't even know if I've seen any movie twice in my life. No, wait. I've seen, like, some musicals twice. I think I saw Mamma Mia twice.
Interesting.
I'm like, if I see a movie, I'm like, I don't need to see it again.
All right. I'm not. I definitely have classics.
I know most people are like, they can watch a movie again and again and again.
All right, so you want me to do my list?
Okay.
For her? Monster.
Somebody told me to watch Monster. I know what Monster is about.
Definitely check that out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she's ugly in that one, so I don't know if I want to see it.
She is, and it's wild because, like, she pulls it off. But, I mean, completely dived into that character, and, yeah, that's, like, one of the best performances, I think, like, of all time, of any actor ever.
Didn't she win something for that, too?
She should. If she didn't, that's a shame.
I think she might have won something for that. I don't know. But yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to see Charlize ugly. But I probably, now that I...
Well, just watch it once.
Now that I can figure out how to, like, get movies.
Fire Stick. Shout out. Are you sponsored by the Fire Stick?
I used to say the Spotify in my set a few times, and I used to say I wish I was sponsored by the Spotify now.
The Spotify. I love it. All right, A Million Ways to Die in the West. That's like a comedy that Seth MacFarlane wrote.
Is it a Western?
It is. And I'm not even crazy about Westerns, but I like this. I thought it was funny.
I like any, like, period piece.
Reindeer Games. That's my third.
Is that a Christmas show?
No, that's like one. It's like a heist movie. It has Ben Affleck in it, and I think maybe late '90s. Then Italian Job.
I could watch that. I think I think that would be interesting because that's sort of like Atomic Blonde, right?
I definitely want to check that out because I had to Wikipedia her to see exactly what she was in, and I saw that was like one of her newer ones. Oh, okay. So maybe I'll check that out at some point. And then Mad Max Fury Road, I guess. Oh. That one's all right.
Which one?
Fury Road, Mad Max.
Oh, I could, that's the thing about her. She does, like, their actions. That's the only reason I saw, like, Atomic Blonde is because the husband was like, okay, I'll go see an action movie. She's in it. It's an action movie. We can watch it, right? So I know she's really good with the action because she's very fit and stuff. So yeah, I can. And I like
well-rounded for an actor as well. You know, like in A Million Ways to Die in the West. That's a comedy, and she holds her own.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, I definitely now. I think I will check her out and more stuff. I just liked her image and her like physical self, I guess.
All right.
But
J-Lo songs?
J-Lo songs. You know what? I refreshed my memory on J-Lo songs yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? These songs are because people make fun of J-Lo and her songs. You know what I mean? Like, but you're like, some of these songs are pretty good. Like,
I came up with 5. I was able to come up with 5. You want to hear mine first?
Yeah,
okay. So, Feeling So Good, which is her, I want to say, Fat Joe and Big Pun.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Ain't It Funny, which is, and I want to say this is the remix version that I like with Ja Rule. I'm not even a big Ja Rule fan either, but like, they had a couple good songs back in the day. I'm Real, which is, I think, also with Ja Rule, I want to say. And then Play. Play has, like, I think, as far as, like, the instrumental, I think it's probably, like, the best instrumental that I've heard of hers. I really like the beat. And then If You Had My Love.
Oh, yes, that one's a good one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has some good ones.
Yeah, she has some good ones. I know, like, these ones, but they didn't come to the forefront for me, really. But yeah, no, I really, now, with the last one, If You Had My Love, now I'm like, listening to it in my head. But you know what? I do love her songs, but I don't have them on any of my, like, playlists.
Me either.
I don't know why. Like, but if I heard them on the radio, I wouldn't turn them off. You know what I mean?
All right.
And I probably wouldn't run to them, but maybe I will now. I don't know.
Do you have a 5 though?
Yeah.
You were? Okay.
On the Floor.
Okay.
Let's Get Loud.
Okay.
Let's Get Loud.
These are like the newer ones.
Yeah, these are the new ones. Ain't Your Mama.
I don't know if I know that one.
I know. It's basically about, that's the
do
title
your own
says
shit.
it all.
Yeah.
I Ain't Your Mama.
Yeah.
Dance Again. I think she does that one with Pitbull.
Okay.
If You Had My Love. Wait, did you already talk about that one?
I did.
Yeah. That's right. Jenny from the Block, but that's just. You know what I love about J-Lo? J-Lo is and I'm not joking when I say like that she is my like girl crush, and I have asked my daughter, would J-Lo wear this? But she's just like, she's her own show. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter if her songs are top 10, or it doesn't really matter if her movies are like, if they're gonna win an Oscar. She's just like, she's the engine behind. She's like, this is my project, and everything is me.
Yeah.
It's all J-Lo. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so like, when you think Jenny from the Block, like, well, that's just a dumb song, but everybody knows that title, Jenny from the Block. You know what I mean? Like, she made it into her own little song. Like, that's just her little. You know what I mean? She's not. The product is not separated from the artist. It's all the same. I don't know. And then the last one is I love you, Poppy.
I don't know that one either.
Oh my god, you gotta check out the video. It's so fun. And sometimes I think she's sort of making fun of the industry when she's making these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine are just like cute. Yours are like real songs, and mine are just like cute J-Lo songs. Because I just sort of just love everything about J-Lo. Do you watch her movies?
I've seen a few movies.
God.
She has a few really good movies.
And they're all like, it's just the J-Lo brand. It's just an excuse for J-Lo to spend 2 hours on the screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The last one that she made, that was a Shotgun Wedding.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god, that's fucking awesome. It's so good. And like, you think Shotgun Wedding, that's basically, it's sort of a misleading title because she can't have a shotgun wedding. She's my age. She can't have any babies. She can't have a shotgun wedding. How was like, how is she gonna make a shotgun wedding? Like,
I just saw she was with Ben Affleck again.
who's gonna believe that she has to get married because she's gotten pregnant? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't about that at all. It's actually about shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, there's some violence in the movie.
Got you.
And it's funny, and it's like, it's very big budget. There's like helicopters and explosions and stuff. she's with Ben Affleck, but I don't get that.
Did she did a movie called Enough, right? That was her. I'm thinking
I think so, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen all of them.
The Cell. There's a few that I really like of her. But yeah, Ben Affleck, did you know they were back together?
Yes.
Like, they're married again.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I was looking up
like
Jennifer Lopez stuff the other night, and I was like, wait, she's...
a year ago?
Yeah.
But she was with him, like,
a
20
long
years
time ago. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then she was with us. You know what? I've tried to make jokes about J-Lo because I love her so much, but I can't be scathing and like one of the jokes I'm trying to make is a joke about J-Lo is that how I mean, I love her, but she's kind of a slut. Has anyone counted how many men have actually been inside of her? Like, seriously, like, she's prolific. But you can't call her a slut because she's just a serial monogamist. But she's had a lot of partners.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's kind of slutty. But that's fine, I guess. Because she's, like, rich.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think now when you say that a lot, like, but I can... I do know quite a few.
P.
Like
Diddy,
dancers, P. Diddy.
Yeah. P. Diddy.
But there's been, like... And they're
Mark
big
Anthony.
names. Like, she never just does, like, George who works at Sobeys.
A-Rod was before.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a very good... Because he's, like, the best...
Yeah, and there's something to say about the quality of wiener, too, that she's getting. Like, she's getting top-tier wiener. Like, she's not just taking the wieners, any wiener that's getting thrown at her,
she's
you know?
like, she doesn't need to... But you know what, like, she is like, what every woman would want to be, right? She's super rich. If a man starts giving her shit, she's like, fuck you, I'm friggin' off, I'm fucking going to find somebody else. Like... Most women can't leave their relationships because of financial and family and blah, 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 right? But she's like, I'm out of here.
I'm Jennifer Lopez, motherfucker.
Who are you? People are going to want me till I'm dead, you know?
Yes, right. No, for real, though, yeah.
But I was watching her on Saturday Night Live once, and, Pete Davidson was in a skit with her, and the whole Saturday Night Live was how beautiful Jennifer Lopez is, and how all the men want her, and I'm like, y'all know she's 52 years old, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, and still, everybody's still like, oh my God, J-Lo, she's still, and I'm like, that's sort of inspiring. Like, you can still be like desirable after 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's like a trailblazer. You should see that. You should see that movie, the Shotgun Wedding. Is really, really super fun. My husband didn't want to see it. I had just figured out the remotes, so I was like, he was like, it was before he went to New. It was like early in the summer, and I was like, I'm watching this movie. You are not gonna control what we watch here tonight. I'm watching it. I think he fell asleep in the first 10 minutes, but I had a great time.
All right. I'll figure it out. I'll find out where it is. I have like every.
I feel that's what men are better at, like
sometimes
finding out stuff on the television.
All right, let's end with country musicians. Dun, dun, dun.
Country. I play the guitar. And so that's how I started. When I started playing the guitar, I played all these country songs, right, from like the 60s and 70s. And so that was my entry into like country music. I really do still like country music, but like obviously like Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that's the kind of era of country that I'm coming from too. I'm not huge on it, but I like the older stuff. I don't like the country now, like a lot of the newer country that's like Like, I draw the line at when they did that honky tonk, but donka donk. You remember that song?
Oh.
I was like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. I'm sorry, guys. Like, you can have fun, whatever, and go and be out and have a fun time dancing to this song. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like country's lost its way with a song like that. Like, I want country that's country. Like, it knows what it is, and it's... Yeah. You know, I'm
okay with the bastardization of it. I'm okay with the contamination.
It's keeping it modern.
There's a lot of money behind it, I think.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people that know how to manipulate your ears that are doing it okay. But yeah, no, I mean, but there's, you can't beat just a stereotypical pure country, even if it's a new country song. You know, there's that whole, the country, the female country singers, they do a good job of, like, you know, doing the screw you songs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need no man. Yeah. I got my own cowboy boots.
Yeah.
I can wear my own cowboy hat. You know what I mean? Like, they do that pretty well these days. I can be swayed by that kind of country song too.
All right.
Who's
newer that you like? Shania Twain is.
I love Shania Twain, and I saw her. I haven't seen many concerts because I was in this black hole for 20 years called motherhood, and I wasn't even like aware of like what was out there. But I did go to see the Shania Twain concert recently in Hamilton. Yeah. And I did dress up.
Nice.
And as I was going there, I said to the husband, "I hope I'm not the only one in a cowboy hat." And then I saw hundreds and hundreds of cowboy hats.
Nice.
But I do like Shania Twain. Yeah. That kind of splashy country. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's that whole like image, like, you know, dressing up and, you know, empowered and I feel the country ladies do that well. But I don't mind the male country singers too. I don't know. You know. Like Kenny Rogers.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you catch my? I did a song. You know, Justin Trudeau is getting divorced, right? You're probably too. I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
37.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not that young. You probably still don't remember though. Like Kenny Rogers did this song, Lucille.
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yeah.
And then, but you know, back in the day in the 70s, Justin Trudeau, his dad got divorced too. And somebody did a parody of the song Lucille, but they made it about Pierre Elliott Trudeau and his wife. Her name was Margaret. And so they wrote a song called, this guy, Canadian, he picked a fine time to leave me, Margaret. He picked a fine time to leave me, Margaret. 300 kids and the country's in debt. And then when I found out Justin was getting divorced, I was like, oh my god, it's like a
Have you seen the Pete Davidson meme with Sophie? There's like Pete Davidson walking around.
I was, you know, I captured that. One of my friends from New Brunswick, and I put it out there. I got 70 likes on the Facebook.
All right.
I was like, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is so
real?
hilarious!" And she's wearing a stupid dress with long sleeves. She looks so happy. Anyway, you got to check out my song.
All right.
It's on my Facebook page. I put it right there. I put it right in a post. Anyway, I spent a long time, because I have sung that song, like the real song, Lucille, hundreds and hundreds of times at a campfire in my lifetime.
And now it's going to be Margaret from now on.
No, now Margaret? It's Sophie.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
okay.
Because like I now it's like you picked a fine time to leave me, Sophie.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah. For some reason, see, I'm so a little ignorant, but yeah, okay. I get her name is Sophie. I thought it was Margaret for a second.
Yeah. That was his dad's. That's his mom.
Yeah, it's his mom. Okay.
Maggie. They call her Maggie. Yeah. Anyway, she left Justin's dad, and she hooked up with Mick Jagger. Yeah, which is also in my song.
Interesting.
He just turned 80. Apparently.
It's crazy. He's crazy. He's like 100 in drug years.
Oh my god, I don't know. Like, I figure, does he still smoke, you think? I don't know.
I mean, what's the point in stopping at this point? Like,
I
really,
know,
you're Mick
right?
Jagger, you're 80s.
I think I might. Like I said, I just I just decided to go really healthy. But by the time I'm 70, I might start smoking again.
Oh, no, don't do it, don't do it.
Oh no, I know it's terrible. It's a terrible thing.
Is that your country musicians?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I used to love. I love the Dixie Chicks.
Okay.
I love Anne Murray.
I don't know who she is.
Anne Murray, she's like Canadian. She was really popular like 25 years ago. She's from like PEI.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just a Canadian. She's like a CanCon choice. But I don't know if you would know. I don't know if you know the song of the Songbirds. No, beneath the snowy mantle, cold and clean.
No, I don't think so.
No. Glenn Campbell.
The name sounds familiar.
Like I think they traded songs sometimes. I think he recently died. I can't remember. I can't remember specifically like any titles attached to him, but I did like him. Charlie Pride. No. No. He just recently died too. All these people just recently died. I think these were the 70s. 70s. They were popular in the 70s. Randy Travis.
I know Randy Travis.
Emmylou Harris.
No.
Oh. She's like, she had like one streak of gray hair. I think she might be all gray now though. I'm not sure. I think she went to the dark side or the gray side. But yeah. I think we've touched on all of my my favorites.
All right. You had a couple. Well, you had at least one. Johnny Cash, he's my number one.
He's your number one? He is my number one too. Yeah.
And like I'm not huge on country, and there's this kind of, he does like a slash between like, I don't know, Canadian rock slash country. When I Googled him, in the genres it said rock country rock. So I was like,
Johnny Cash?
No, this guy named Brian Byrne. He's a Canadian artist. So you know I Mother Earth? So I Mother Earth was his band like in like the 90s. They formed in like the 90s. And the original singer left and then was replaced by Brian Byrne. And he does like a bunch of like country-ish solo stuff. And I really like it. So I'm going to put him as my number 2.
Okay.
Definitely check him out if you haven't heard him.
Yeah, okay.
Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah. I thought about him, but...
Alan Jackson.
I've heard...
This is my number 4.
Is he like modern?
No, he's like... I don't even think he's alive anymore, but there's a like Mercury Classic or something. He had like a really big song that I kind of got me into him, and I haven't listened to him in a long time, but I remember really liking him back in the day because of like this one song. And then Shania Twain, but I'm also thinking that maybe... Here's the thing. Would you say Miley Cyrus is country?
I love Miley Cyrus too.
I really love Miley Cyrus, but I'm like unsure to put her on the list.
I know, that's true.
Because
not
like
now.
she doesn't... Yeah,
not now. She's not country now.
But like she does like things where she'll do covers of like
yes,
Dolly
that's
Parton
true,
songs and shit.
She has
you
done
know?
those.
So
yeah.
I don't know, but she would be an honorable mention. If I was actually, if we were considering her country, she'd probably be higher on the list though, because I think she's really talented. Like I think she's more talented than Taylor Swift. I'm like, I know there's this whole Taylor Swift thing right now, and I'm like, what's going on? Like Miley, like. But
Miley's having a big summer in her own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got this new song. She's got Malibu. Do you know that new song?
Yeah, I know.
I love that song. Also, River.
I like so many songs of hers.
I know.
So many.
I think just in the last 2 years, she's put a lot of good ones too.
I don't like stuff like "Party in the USA." I don't like that kind of stuff.
I don't really like that either. Yeah. Well, she was mostly like that. That was just on the end of her Hannah Montana.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm not this person anymore, trying to break free from those chains. I get it. But I just think she's so talented. Like, as far as female musicians, she's probably...
Totally.
For me, probably, like, my favorite one right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And I kind of like, I'm not a lesbian. You're like, she's a lesbian. She likes a lot of women because of their looks. I mean, some of my best friends are lesbians.
Yeah. You got a lesbian TV.
I'm not a lesbian, but I identify as a lesbian. But I like a woman who looks like if I were to sleep with if I were to sleep with a woman, this would be my type. Like Miley Cyrus is she's like super strong, you know what I mean? Like you know when she does her videos and stuff, and
not even just
she's always hanging from something.
Yeah, she's badass. She's badass.
Yeah, she looks like she's really like fit and strong. You know what I mean? I don't, the whole bimbo thing. I mean, even J-Lo, she's super
She
strong.
Doesn't give off bimbo vibes either.
No. She's like, she's got like arms and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, you should check out that Miley Cyrus song, River.
Yeah, I think I know it.
It's that is one of my favorite songs of the summer, River.
All right.
And I like all the new popular pop, I guess, modern artists. Like Olivia Rodrigo.
I don't know who that is.
Like BB Rexa.
Don't know.
Lizzo.
No Lizzo.
I love all those too.
Okay.
I just that's what, because I run a lot and I have to listen to stuff when I run, so I like a good female vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
When I run, whatever, but
definitely it's nice to have like few. I don't know. There's a lot of, and there's always been male and female, just of junk music, and as time goes on, it's becoming more junk because it's just done for money.
There's so much.
I hope that my daughter just can really pick up the good stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I mean, we played a lot of music like in the house, like when they were growing up and everything. I don't know how much they remember or internalized, but sometimes they will, like, I will say, an artist or whatever to like both of them, and I'll be surprised they know, because I'm like, I didn't play that one, but they still know. I think the kids these days are interested in going back in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and they listen to stuff, right? But yeah, there does come time when they're like, they don't want to listen to any of your stuff.
Yeah, you're not cool. All right, let's end with one of these.
Okay,
you pick one first.
I'm afraid of this.
Don't be afraid. If it's something that you don't have to, you can pick another one.
I'm gonna go for a pink one. Is this pink?
Burgundy.
Oh my god.
Burgundy.
What is something you expected to use often, but you don't?
Oh, shoot. Maybe like board games.
Oh, board games.
Yeah, like
we have your whole life.
No, I just mean like now. It's like we have like a bunch of board games and we bought them and stuff, and it's like people just people don't. It's hard to get people together to do that kind of thing.
I know people used to do that in the 60s and 70s and maybe the 80s,
and I love it.
And it was kind of fun, but nobody does.
Like getting like just like 4 people together and playing like Jenga for an hour. Like that shit's fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm just I like that.
Yeah.
You know, and me and my lady will play like we do a lot of Scrabble.
Is she very competitive though?
Not really.
Oh,
like
well,
we're both
good.
Not super competitive. Like we get into like I talk I think more shit, but like we both kind of have a little bit of, competitive nature in us, but nothing where it's like horrible. I think me maybe a little more.
Because that's the problem with board games. Like people can get really competitive, and then it's not fun. Like
like Monopoly kind of.
I must have played board games when I was growing up, but it was not a favorite activity of mine or whatever. And or like there are all these weird cottage games that take a little bit of skill involving things flying across the board and stuff like that. And I think my husband grew up doing that, and he kind of likes it, but he's super good at it. And so when I play it, I'm like I might as well be that cushion. Like, stupid not. But he's very competitive, and that's not fun.
And some games aren't
to
fun
lose
if you're,
every time.
That's it, right? Yeah. I got you.
But I don't have an answer to this one.
No.
Something. Oh, I mean, I have a PhD and I don't really use it.
You're a teacher, of course.
It's, you know what, like, I don't use the PhD, but, you know, like, it took me a long time to get it, so I'm very determined, and I persevere, and I guess that works in teaching. So it was the lessons I learned as I went along, but as for the PhD itself, like...
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I can riff on, sometimes, like, when the kids will say, Madame, why is this like that? And I'll say, well, let me tell you the whole story, kids. And 13 minutes later, it's those little kids, they will actually sit and listen to a history lesson on a very specific part of the French language. Surprising. I mean, I throw in some lies, you know.
I think that might be like I know some people who've gone to college and stuff and just never got into their field.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it's not like the 50s and 60s where you studied something and then you just used it. We're all out there trying to accumulate things that we can use to make a living. Yeah. And sometimes we just don't use it. You know what I mean? There was a time you trained and then you worked at the thing you trained for. That's a luxury like that we don't have anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, what do you do? What's your job?
As chef.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
I went to school for that, and I
pictures.
got into it like even before I was done school. Mm-hmm. Like I did 2 years. It was only a 2-year thing, and like by the end of the first year, I was already in the industry working.
Did you must have always liked to cook?
Yeah. And
you still like to cook even though it's your job?
I like to cook less.
Oh,
the thing about it is that like I do like cooking at home more, but because like I do that like 8 to 10 hours a day when I come home, I don't like to do it as much.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I do like a lot of like.
Did you envision that?
Not really.
You're like, if I do this as a job, when I come home,
and like it's what I'm good at now because I've been in the industry for so long. So it's just like. So
that's your full time. Job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a creative pursuit that not a lot of people are lucky enough to get a job, creative types that enable them to work creatively for a living. Mm-hmm. Right? That's pretty like lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are just like, they got to do their creative stuff on the side. Or whatever, you know what I mean? I
still have that on the side too, like my other things. But, and eventually, like, I'd like those other things to kind of take over. Mm-hmm. And, you know, maybe leave the 9 to 5.
Comedy?
Obviously, the comedy, the reffing, like, something. Yeah. Something outside. Like, I wouldn't... Like, the appeal of not working 9 to 5 is so... Mm-hmm. I don't know, appealing? I don't know, but it's like, that's the end goal, is to not...
I mean, talk to me in February, but like, I don't mind working 9 to 5 because I know summer comes.
Yeah.
I get a good break in December. There's a week in March. But I kind of like getting up in the morning and having somewhere to go. But
I gotcha.
But I mean, I'm gonna retire one day.
And you hear a lot of times where people leave their 9 to 5 and then they're like, "Fuck, I need another," and they just end up pursuing something else because it's like. There's too much time off, or they like the routine, or whatever the case is.
I can't walk away from the pension, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear you. All right. What scared. Website, app, or game can you get lost in for hours? This is easy.
All of the social media ones.
Are you on TikTok?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah?
You know what? I had a TikTok that was like for school, sort of like the kids would be like, "Come on, Madame, do a dance with me." And so I had a little TikTok for just like, you know, it was like Madame Fudge, and I only posted 4 or 5 things. And then I didn't do it for like a couple years or whatever. I think it was a pandemic and we weren't even in class, whatever. And then on Facebook, like maybe like a year and a half ago, I got banned for a month. Yeah, that's the whole story. Mm. And I mean, I got a few warnings first. I got banned, and I was like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do? I can't go on Facebook." So then I and I was already on Instagram. So I opened another Instagram account, right, for just the shameless promotion of my face and body. And still clean. Everything's clean. It's clean. Don't get excited. And and then I opened, I opened another TikTok account. Right, and I don't really use my teacher one where I was just doing silly dances with the kids, and so I opened it up. So because I was I spent a lot of time on, and also you promote shows on Facebook, and you find out about shows on Facebook. You answer posts, and you get more shows about if you're on. So I opened a TikTok, and then I kind of got into the TikTok, but then I've been doing the TikTok for about a year and a half now, posting silly videos. Now it's just a fun thing, because I was just what's the point? Just post something and get 411 views. What's the point? Although I put some of my my comedy up there too. But I can't. If I start scrolling the TikTok, I can lose an hour or two.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people can you lose 17 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, my lady's like that. She always sends me a lot of TikTok. And we send each other videos. But
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of addicted to this, and it's been that way for maybe a year. There's this brick breaker game on my phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's just the most basic thing, and it's just, I don't know.
Is it like a Jenga kind of thing?
No, it's I have a bunch of balls, and I have to destroy the bricks, and there's you have to hit certain bricks a certain amount of times and things like that.
I've never been into stuff like that.
I don't know why I got into it.
Just the total it's just a pure distraction. Do you know what I mean? It's there's no words.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah.
There's no purpose. You're just taking a break. It's like smoking. I've never ever, except for the smoke, which was delicious. But I've never been into the pure distraction stuff.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I wish I could but if I'm
crosswords
lost,
and stuff like that.
Oh my God, no!
No.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I just if I'm gonna busy myself, it's gonna be making a product paint, I used to draw on, or strokes or whatever. But I wish I could. I think it would help me if I could get into. You should tell me what that game. What's it called? That game?
I think it's just called Brick Breaker Quest.
Brick Breaker Quest.
It's on my hair.
I should try to get into something like this. I think it would.
It is Bricks Breaker Quest. Bricks Breaker Quest.
I envy,
level 721.
I envy people who can think I think my husband does what do you call it, sudokus.
Yeah. I can do those sometimes.
Oh my God, boring as
they
shit.
Get really
so boring. Oh my God, he does it in the bathroom. I don't even know what he's doing in there. He's doing this, and he has one of those little machinies.
Okay.
He's got the handheld thing.
Yeah.
He's not doing it on paper. He's got the console or whatever.
Got you.
The battery was and there's all these noises, and he's doing Sudoku on a freaking machine in the bathroom.
That's wild.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I mean, a phone is one thing, but I don't, and so I could never get into. I'm more into just riding my bike or roller skating.
Okay, all right.
I should try brick breaker balls, whatever you call them. Brick ball breakers.
Brick Breaker Quest. Breaker Quest.
Okay, I'll try it. I'm gonna try.
It's a horrible name. I'm gonna be honest. Doesn't really exactly roll off.
But how many hours can you spend doing that?
Not a lot.
Oh, because you have a baby now. How can you know what I mean?
But I'm just thinking outside of, I do have mild addiction to social media. I feel like most people, but I don't think it's. I think it's just a normal amount at this point. I don't think it's anything above normal. It's weird how much I play this game. Really? Every single day? Oh yeah.
Does your lady does she complain about it?
She's mentioned it.
Because if she's mentioned about it probably
is a problem. You play this game a lot. Why do you like this game so much?
It's probably a problem.
Yeah.
But don't you I find that's what the comedy does for me. If I have to spend some time in transit somewhere or like in a doctor's office, I will just pull out my like little notebook and like write jokes.
Yeah.
That's where I can go now if I have time to kill. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I also like online shopping.
All right. That's fair.
But that's kind of
so
bad.
easy.
You can't do that all the time.
So easy
though.
now.
You know,
it's gotten so convenient. We're like sometimes we order groceries.
Oh yeah.
Just through like Uber Eats. Like
well,
we're
you have
just
a baby.
lazy.
You can be excused because you can't just jump in the car.
Oh yeah.
These
Baby's
days.
a great excuse. I use the baby for a lot of excuses. It's awesome.
I know.
You can't argue with it. Like, you know?
Yeah. It's like, I'm a baby. You know,
baby. Sorry.
You can't go. I mean, that's pretty, she's still pretty young, too. Like, you know. But you can bring her everywhere at this age.
Yeah.
When for the
first time, I put her on, like, the harness thing. I think it was yesterday. Just, like, walked around.
Yeah.
So cool, man.
I know.
I love like hands-free, but I still felt like I needed to like hold her close. You know, like she's there, she's fine, she's not falling. You can do that now because she can hold her own head up. Yeah.
Yeah, but then by the time she's about 9 months old, she's gonna be too heavy. Gonna be breaking your back, right? I remember one time my son, I don't know, I haven't seen anybody with their babies on their backs lately. I see them with the snuggly or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had this thing where you would like you put them on your back in a little backpack. And I would travel on the subway because I lived in Toronto until he was like 1. Mm-hmm. And then I had to come back to Toronto because I was still doing grad work and I was doing a little bit of teaching. And so I would bring him on the subway. And, you know, just sitting on you couldn't see what he was doing. And one time I had a ponytail on the subway and he kept pulling all the fucking hair out of my ponytail. And I was like, I couldn't stop him.
This is my hair now.
I'm like, what is a stupid idea is this? Put a baby in a bag. Maybe it's not even like legal anymore.
I don't know.
I haven't seen
so many things change with like that kind of stuff where it's like these car seats are good, but then all of a sudden a year later you can't buy them, and it's like there's a lot of stuff like that.
Like mobiles, you know, you're not allowed to have like even within the 2 children, right? Like I had this mobile where like this little thing they'd go around and around. You know what I mean? You probably don't even know about that. It was like this. It was.
Well, we have something
it
like
looked like
that.
this, and it would go around, and the baby could swat at it.
Yeah, we have something like that, and we kind of like turn it, and it plays like a song or something, like Twinkle Twinkle.
I heard that they're illegal now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, we don't have one.
You know how like we used to put like these mattress pads around, the rungs on the crib, and which I thought was a really good idea. Because, you know, if the baby rolls over, they're not going to knock their head on the bars.
Yeah. Blankets, everything's a suffocating hazard.
We used to have, like, little pillows, and they're not allowed to have pillows now?
No.
All
flat
this changed
surface,
within 3 years of me having the 2 children.
And it will probably change in a couple more years, too.
Know, there's not even allowed blankets now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, how can you...
So you had to buy, like, a sack, with like a sleep sack or something for our baby.
Imagine, like, 3,000 years ago in the woods.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, where would they... I mean, but they didn't have cribs then. I don't know. They just kept the babies in the...
And no one's going to argue. It's hard to argue because you're like, oh, well, whatever I got to do for my baby to be safe.
Yeah,
you know?
You're like, because then, you know, the baby... What if the baby does die? Then you're like, oh my God. That's like, I'm the guy who put blankets in the crib.
Yeah.
And the baby...
Scary.
I'm the poster...
The first night that we brought her home, she like... We fed her, and then we laid her down without burping her, like, right away. Oh. We had planned on it, but we were just like, fed her directly down, because we were going to do, I think we were changing her outfit or something.
That's easy to forget.
And then she just, like, coughed up and, like, started choking. We're like, day 1, baby dies. Like, this is horrible. It's so... Keeps you on your toes, though.
But the thing is, though, like, if you forget, that's going to happen. So, it's no big deal. Like, the baby's like, well, I tried to tell you. I need to burp, and that comes up. You know what I mean?
Do you wanna wrap her up and get out of here?
Yeah, sure. I got a fancy mall to visit.
You do? That's adorable. I fucking hate malls now.
I don't like them as much as I...
They're so big.
The pandemic killed my mall going. I used to... You know what? Honestly, before I started comedy, like literally, like I... took care of the children. I went to my teaching job. I became a teacher when they were like 7 and 4, whatever. And then, but on Saturdays, I would just go to the mall and wander around fucking aimlessly. Because I was like, I just wanted to have some social contact, and I didn't want to have to teach anybody anything or tell them to eat their supper. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have the social, and I would wander around the mall, and I would buy a little trinket, and I'd go home. But then we couldn't go to the mall for like a year and a half, and then I started online shopping, and then I'd be like, oh my God, this is awesome, because I want pink socks. I'll just look up pink socks.
Yeah, you don't have to find it in the mall.
When I go to the mall, I'm like, I'm not going to a mall if I want pink socks. I would have to spend 2 hours.
Yeah, who buys shoes at a mall anymore?
I know, right?
Oh my God. Last time I did, I didn't even find shoes. I walked around for like 2 hours, didn't even find them.
Right, because nobody's helping you. Like, if you look up pink socks on your phone now, in the next 3 days, you're going to get 16 varieties of pink socks thrown at you. And I'm like, give it to me, baby. I'm the customer. But if I go to a mall. But you know what? Like, sometimes, like, I like, you know, if I'm really bored, I still like going to the mall.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go to square one after this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you can let these people know where to get at you if you like.
I might go to A&W, too.
Oh, shoot. Going all out.
We didn't even talk about fast food.
That's your go-to, though, A&W's?
I do like, yeah, I like a lot. I like a mama burger, I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Not just because it's called mama burgers. Okay, what do you want me to tell the people?
Oh, if social media, wherever they can find you.
I'm on every single platform that exists to man. Although I have yet to figure out this Threads thing. They're trying to get at me.
I haven't got it yet. I
don't know if I'm gonna. But I gotta like update it or something.
Okay.
And there's like 20 people waiting to communicate with me on Threads. I'm just, you know, I'm just living my best life, you know. I'm too busy for Threads, you know. I'm too.
Heather Fudge on everything.
I'm like Heather Fudge on Facebook, Fudge Heather on Instagram. I think I'm H Fudge on TikTok.
Okay.
And I got another sort of slightly sketch, still like above board account on Instagram. It's called Skater Girl.
Skater Girl.
Skater Girl. But it is. Did you find that?
No.
And it's Skater, S-K-8-T-R-E.
All right.
Someone contacted me recently, and they were like, they're like, you got another Instagram account? And I'm like, yeah, it's Skater Girl. But I spelled it wrong for them, and then they tried to find it, and they're like, I can't find you. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's Skate R-E. No, it's not. I don't even know if there's an E. I think it's Skate T-R-G-R-L.
Okay.
I didn't even spell girl right.
Gotcha.
That's all that happened when I was banned on Facebook. If you ban me on Facebook for 30 days,
you gotta do something.
Bad things are going to.
Yeah, Skater Girl.
The why I was banned, that's a story for off camera.
Okay, all right. Well, guys, like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your time at your fancy mall.
It was so fun.
And, yeah. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace the fuck out.